Superbooth 19 and welcome to a new Synth Anatomy video. I'm here at this booth of Gamechanger Audio with
Teodor.
Hey Teodor, how are you?
Really cool today. Taking out some new stuff from us, so yeah.
So you are working for Gamechanger Audio. That's a very ambitious name for a company, for an audio company. What is your mission on your for your building new instruments or effects? Do you have a philosophy inside your company? You want to make always new instruments which are not on the market at all, or how would you describe it?
No, I think that the Gamechanger audio products are like unique. They are unique. It's something that's not been before on the market, but also it's really need to be that the products are useful, like they could be used to produce the music. So yeah, I think that's the philosophy, to make something different, but that's pretty useful, like to change the game, and yeah.
Change the game. So that's the motto, I think, also of the MOTOR Synth, which you have here on the booth. We saw it at the NAMM show in form of a keyboard, and it was totally impressed of it. But I can't do a video of it or only some sounds because it was so loud in the guitar department. Yeah. But the design was wow. So it's gray and it was big. And now you transformed the idea to a desktop unit.
Yes.
So how comes this decision to make now a desktop unit? Is this for you more, you can offer it to more affordable, or is there some other reasons?
Yeah, I think it's more reachable to people, to musicians to buy it, so more people can try out the MOTOR Synth, because the piano thing, in the future maybe it will come out also, but we are starting with this thing. I think that's because it's more possible to get this one. Yeah.
Can you give us a more in detail look of the engine, because it's not a normal synth. It doesn't have typical oscillators. So give us a bit more, because it looks very crazy on weird for me.
Yeah, so the sound is produced by 8 spinning motors, and there are 2 ways how we receive the sound of the motors. One way is that you can see that there's optical disc on the motor which is spinning, and with a source of infrared LED and the receiver, we receive the printed wave shape on the optical disc. And there are 3 different for each one of 8 motors. And there's the second way how we receive the sound of the motors is with inductor that receives the electromagnetic field which is produced because of the motors are spinning. And that's the main thing how this creates the sound. Yeah.
The final product, you will see also the spinning always on the final product, or is it just now to give people a look inside, or will the design like this?
I think that the motors will be always on the top, so the player can see what's actually spinning there.
What is I see? How reliable are they? Because I think if something is broken or so, are they reliable for you or in your first tests now? If you're doing in your lab, is it? Or how is it different to an analog oscillator?
These specific motors are drone motors from the drones, and they are like the lifespan of them is pretty high, and we don't have any one of them broken yet. It's a huge lifespan for drone motors, and there's also not that big pressure because it's just spinning the optical disc. The drone is like flying up. This one is just spinning the disc. So yeah, there's.
How is coming to such an instrument? How you came to this idea? Because normally you're designing an analog circuit with filter, with envelopes, and that's my synth, but that's a different direction.
I think it came somewhere from, when you're playing guitar and you use some kind of electrical screwdriver, like woo, that sound. So when you put the motor to the pickup of the guitar, you get that noisy sound that woo woo woo, and it somehow resonates in the amplifier. From there, it's like I think that the idea comes from there, but this is the way how we can control let's call it noise, how to control the noise and how to make it more musical. and yeah, like that.
How would you describe the sound? Does it, if you take now an idea of an analogs, real analogs with oscillators, classic oscillators compared to this, how would you describe it? Is it more raw, more aggressive? Because we know it from the NAMM show, there was a very crazy sound, very industrial
Yeah.
type of sound. Or how would you describe it as developer of it?
I think the main characteristics that comes out of this instrument is that you can change the wavelength, the wave shapes right here. You can change from the sine to the square. You can get something really like organ sound, and you can get something really rough. But the interesting things are that there are 8 motors, and when you, for example, you are playing something really high, a lot of motors are like rotating at really high frequencies. Then you put some bassy note at the top, so the motors just stop, and you can hear how the motors are stopping and like starting it again, and there's some kind of percussive sound. I think we will get something more interesting from the mechanical part, how the motors are spinning around. There are those things that are interesting. For example, also the acceleration potentiometer here. You can change the acceleration, how fast the motors are getting to that target frequency, which is like pressed on the MIDI key or these 8 buttons.
Let's talk a bit about the front panel or the audio engine. So we have 2 oscillators, or how it's split it here on the interface.
Yeah, we have 2 main oscillators, 2 main voices. So you can see here in the line, these are the controls for the first one. Here you can mix how loud does it comes to the main mix of those 2 voices. Here you can change the wave shape. 3 of them are on the optical discs. 1, the motor, which sounds similar to sine, but it's something interesting. Comes from the inductor, which receives the electromagnetic field. Here you can scale the voice, of course. Here you can change the envelope. I think it's really cool way how to change it with just one potentiometer. You can just press it down. You can change the attack. You can change the decay, the sustain, just by pressing and then regulating that. Here's the acceleration. So if you put somewhere on the lower values, then it accelerates pretty like slowly to the target note. Here it's like at the moment. And here's the tone. So here's the second line for the second voice, which is pretty similar right here. But yes, here you can also put down the envelope sync, so you can synchronize the second envelope by the first one, how you are like changing it. And here's the acceleration synchronization also. So that's about those 2 voices.
How to choose, because I see now you have a filter inside, how to choose the right filter for such a different analog or different oscillator?
This is a good question. I don't know. You can. I just know the basic answer that there's low pass filter where you can get the low frequencies, band pass, one way of band pass with 6 decibels, with 12 decibels band pass, and then the high pass one. So you can just like, there are 4 types of filters. I think that you need to just to check them out, because we are also right now, this is a really fresh baby. It's just ready for 3 days, so we are still searching how to use it in the best way. So,
is it a known chip inside, or is it not a clone, but is it a known filter type that you're using, or is it a new developed filter?
Maybe later on I could answer this precisely right now. It's yeah.
Not yet known, yeah.
Not yet known. Whoa.
Okay, then you have oscillator filter. You have some modulation options, I see.
Yeah. So here you can modulate the you can check you can put more for the first voice, the modulation. You can. How much do you want to modulate? Here you can change the envelope of the modulation, of course. You can just as it was here, you can press down, and yeah, attack, decay, ADSR. Yep. Then you can choose how much you apply it on the, for example, first voice or the second voice. And you can also modulate the tremolo, the amplitude, and you can modulate the frequency, the pitch. For each, you can select. And there is also a filter cutoff that you can modulate. You can synchronize this with the main clock right here. You can also just make some kind of rate right here. You can synchronize. You can. This is a cool way how you can, like, this is the rate button. If you press the Alt, you can change the subdivisions on it. Because when you are synchronized, it's cool to make some kind of rhythms. Yeah.
What we talked not yet, is it monophonic or polyphonic or duophonic? What do you choose?
It's polyphonic. Yeah.
And how much poly?
As I'm testing right now, it's like when you are using, I don't know, for example, all the 8 motors, then it's pretty slow when you are changing it to the next one. But if you're using, I don't know, for example, 3 or 4 notes, it's pretty fast. It jumps around. You can play fast things, fast chords also. Like, yeah.
So how you play this, the MOTOR Synth is also different than a normal synth, probably. It reacts differently.
It reacts differently. Yes, you can when a lot of, for example, when you are using, I don't know, a lot of notes in some massive chord right here. For example, in the low frequencies. Okay, it's not polyphonic right now, but okay, but you get something really low here, and then you get something really high up here. You can hear the acceleration also there. Yeah.
Also on board are, I see, an arpeggiator, a sequencer. A loop, so you can loop the sequence, or?
Yeah. So right now there is a free mode when you can play single notes. There is an RPG mode where you can put some RPG, for example, right here, or yeah, you know how it's used. But the sequencer, it's not ready yet because this baby is just really fresh and it's just out for 3 days. But yeah, the sequencer, it just like you can program on each bottom what do you want on there, and the sequence goes through it. So yeah, and loop also, yeah, the loop. There is a plan that you can record something and then play on the top. So you can like ride the bass, make some kind of percussive sounds, do some pads and some lead also, and it's all right here. Yeah.
So a bit like a looping groove box also included.
Yeah.
That's a touch or a keyboard, yeah, onboard keyboard you have also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, if you don't have a MIDI one, you can just use these 8 buttons.
Okay.
But it's really like, it's easy to use because you can like this is the key button right here that you're pressing the Alt. You can change the scale. For example, do a lot of different scales right here. And you can also change the root note. Like you can change the tonality of where you want to play. But it would be interesting, of course, if you can like make some kind of quarter tones or something like that. That's why you can like with this potentiometer right here, this control, you can like change the pitch. Like you can see the frequency right here. So you can, I don't know, you want, for example, 55 hertz. You just bring the 55 hertz right here. Yeah, like that.
Okay, so MOTOR Synth, how far is it developed, or when we can expect it? A price point, or even Kickstarter, or how do you want to bring it to the market?
Sorry, I don't know about that yet, but we are thinking that somewhere in autumn there will be like a fully working prototype or something like that. Yeah. So
it's very early development.
Right now, yes. Right now, yeah.
So it's super early prototype. So
yeah.
No price information or release. No. So your next step is a fully working prototype, and then see what goes further.
Yes, because we are like still. There are challenges to make it more precise, because it's cool when the instrument is precise. Yeah, I mean, you can change, and for the possibilities that you can change it somewhere more dirty or something like that. But if you want it to be like precise, it's cool. Then the instrument is precise. We are still trying to find some solutions how to control the motors at the low frequencies, but but looks like we are going to find something pretty okay, and then we can think about how it goes in the market.
I'm looking forward. It's a very ambitious project, a very crazy project, and it's a nice evolution already from the keyboard to the desktop unit. So I'm looking forward to see it then maybe next year on a fully working retail version. So I wish you then good luck for the Superbooth 19 and have fun and a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And see you soon in one of my next videos. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.